Oh, well, welcome. It is Thursday night. We're all hanging. Apparently, there's already people waiting and hanging with us, so I'm super excited. We'll get some people in the chat popping up, I know. And it's time to draw. It's the almost the end of the week. I'm tired. You're tired. So let's hang out for a couple hours and let's talk about some craft with some cool people. There's some great stuff on the screen already, and I can't wait to jump into it all. But welcome back to Comics Wellspring's live drawing show, Spilled Ink, where we're spilling the ink and spilling the tea every Thursday night. And of course, I'm your host, Brandon Bloxdorf. And with me is my wonderful, amazing, oversized paper using co host, Max Flowers. Hi, Max.
Hey, what's up?
What you working on?
I got a big 18 by 24 project that I'm working on. It's a submission for a cover contest in town.
Oh,
So, yeah, I figured I would try something out and see how it goes.
yeah, dude, I can't wait. Dude, the paneling already looks really sick for that, too. Looks
Yeah, it's
pretty
weird,
dope.
huh?
Yeah, love it. And we have our returning guest. Always great to have him on. Super hyped because they've just been dropping dope art left and right in our Spilled Ink chat. We got Darryl Murphy with us. How you doing, Darryl?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
Doing good. Super hyped you're here. Can't wait to see you in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah,
Um, Man, I'm excited to talk to you and all this stuff. What are you working on? That's some insane perspective you're playing with.
yeah. I have this is 4 point perspective. I'm working on Spider-Man here, and I have Apocalypse over here, from X-Men, and then I try to do my version for Sam Wilson, Captain America.
Oh, sick, dude.
So
Oh man, that's great.
I'm gonna like
Hyped.
doing some inking and until something else comes to mind for me to sketch.
Oh, I love that. Dude, that's sick.
Thank you.
Can't wait to talk about that more. Um, and with us also, first time guest, long time friend, super hyped to have you on. Hello, Davey DeForne. Did I say your last name right? I've never said your last name out loud, I just realized.
Oh, you got it right. What up? What up? Happy to
Dude,
be here. Sorry it's
what are you
taken so
working on?
long for me to find scheduling.
Oh, all good. I'm super happy you're here though. I know you pop in on the chat all the time too. You're super active and I love that. And you're always doing stuff. You got some Pokemon stuff going on tonight, it looks like.
Yeah, not as exciting as the other two guys, but just got some fish Pokemon inking. Trying to wrap up Gen 1 so I can print my final book for it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you're right there. Dude, that's so sick. You have two books for pre-order right now, huh?
Well, so my pre-orders are all done, so all the books are in. I think I may have I pinned them at the top of my Instagram. It says pre-order, but all the books are in now.
Mm.
But yeah, it was the first installment of my Horror Cat series, and then Volume 2 of the Pokedex, and then my Inktober I did the roster of Tekken 3. If anyone likes fighting games, so
Sick.
those three books.
Oh, dude, that's super awesome. Do you have stuff planned for this Inktober already?
I do. So I'm continuing on with my fighting game roster theme, just because it's a little less than 30 and it's a little more manageable for me to do in the month. But like all professional artists who try to attempt Inktober, I pregame my Inktober. So this gives you an idea of what's to
Oh,
come.
sick.
If anyone recognizes this guy,
Do you know
it's,
Max? I don't know. That looks fucking
it's from
dope.
Mortal Kombat. So
Okay.
I'll be
Hell
doing the
yeah.
roster of Mortal Kombat 3.
Hell yeah.
That's gonna
Yeah,
be
I've
so
played
cool.
I've played a little bit of fighting games. I played mostly Combat X and a little bit of Tekken here and there, and some Skullgirls. If you've
Oh
played
yeah,
Skullgirls,
I like
yeah,
that one a lot too. Tekken's my
uh,
main, but I like Skullgirls a lot.
gotcha.
That's cool. Hell yeah. It took me a while to get into fighting games. It's because I sucked at them so much. My brother would just like make fun of me. And so I would just, it was like, trying to do art as a kid. I was like, I suck. I'm not going to do this
Oh,
anymore.
you play in?
Um,
Did you ever play Injustice?
I would say until Injustice came out and then I fucking went hard on that. But
Yeah,
then
yeah.
even then I still kind of sucked. So this is how it goes. But yeah, I even got like the one of the Mortal Kombat's because they had Spawn in it. And I was like, I'm literally just going to play as Spawn for a bit and that's it. and I was happy. T'Challa, dude, what are you doing? Jesus. I'm doing I'm doing a workshop next week, next Saturday at my library, and I'm gonna do a little how to make a mini comic workshop. And so I signed up to do this like months ago, and I thought I'd be way more prepared, and so I'm gonna prepare it tonight. Hopefully, figure it out and run this workshop half decent. So I'm gonna do one on kind of like on. I was trying to think of a way to do a mini comic and kind of like instruct people at the same time and not. Oh, I mean, it might be a little overwhelming, but I'm gonna go with like think of a memory and then kind of pull senses from them. So like something you could see, something you could smell, something you taste, and I kind of broke it down and I'm making the example comic right now. So I'm hoping that's gonna work out.
Nice. Yeah, the mini zine workshops are fun. You end up like yours looks bad because you're just trying to do it fast and like kind of show them the vibe, and then you can just go around talking to people. Like what I did was I made my how to make them, right. So I made a mini zine about how to make mini zines, and then had them like do the cutting and the folding and like stuff like that, so they could get a feel for that part of it. And then I just gave them a piece of paper and let them loose, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm planning on. So so the mini comics up front is going to be like my, blank. So we made a template for everybody. I'm going to print a bunch of these out. Just and even has like the dot lines. Jade Louder helped make this. Shout out to Jade for making it look all cool and whatnot and making it instructional. Appreciate you. And the back of it is going to be like the instructions on how to make a mini comic, like the poster side.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna kind of play with that too, like how the fold works and stuff like that. I have a notebook somewhere that I'm getting info in from. But we got some people in the chat real fast. Let me say hi to. We got Saboteur Comics saying aloha, everyone. Hello, Saboteur.
How's it going?
Murgo. Hey, good evening, Murgo. And Headstock Goatlock 4. Dude, I love these names. I always give up on Inktober. I draw too slow up for that challenge. Dude, I understand. The last couple of Inktobers, I just did pencils because I was just like too slow, and I knew I could at least do pencils and ink them later. I'm hoping to start my Inktober drawings soon because my travel plans for October are insane now. So I gotta, and I know I'm gonna be exhausted, so I'm trying to get ahead. Dave, you're right. You got to do it early because it's rough.
I mean, as long as you ink them in October, it's fine. But I pregame all the legwork for it.
Okay, I'm gonna try doing that this year then. I think it's gonna be the only way. And I'm gonna try not to go like above and beyond. Hey, there's my Comic-Con ticket. There you go. I'm going to New York, so I'm pretty hyped about that. Found that out today. But I'm going to do New York Comic-Con and then Baltimore, and that's back to back. So I know that's gonna wreck my Inktober plans.
Or you just draw, you forget a sketch and just do the entire thing in pen.
Oh, that's true too.
Straight to inks.
Straight to inks. It'll be my ugliest Inktober, but I'm probably going to learn a lot. But dang, I kind of want to work on that. I also thought about doing them digital this year. I didn't know if that was gonna, but I felt like I'm cheating. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to do Inktober digitally. I feel like it's a pen to paper thing.
Nah, that's BS. You could do it digitally.
I might have to if I'm gonna be traveling.
Well, the whole point of it originally was like Jake Parker was like, man, I really want to level up my inks. And so he's just spent a whole month just doing inks. And then it grew from there. So it was him finding his weak point and then trying to practice that for a month. So if your weak point is digital or that's something you're trying to improve, then it's.
See, this is why we talk about these things. Or else I would have just like guilted myself into not doing that. I think that's what I want to do though. Like I feel like that's going to be the best Best way for me.
Yeah, just do that. Who cares?
As long as I'm drawing.
Yeah.
And we posted up our own Spilled Inktober prompts. So that's up on our Instagram page. We'll be promoting it that month as well. Dude, I had pages with like what I was gonna do tonight. I just can't find them in my notebook. I think the first one's RoboCop, and I'm fucking hyped. I also got to do pages for This Comic Goes Fascist. I got to finish my submission for that. We'll kind of start my submission on that. Really, me and Eric need to finish working on that. And then I'm doing a little haunted house story for Outer Space. Little one 2-pager where they're trick or treating. So that's going to be fun. So I have a busy couple weeks of drawing and comic book in. Here we go. And then the Baltimore cover we're going to be working on. Daryl, I'm going to be sending you a little piece of the Baltimore Comic Con. Oh, we lost Daryl. He'll pop back in. I think his camera was wigging out a little bit. But so I'm going to try a really big experiment for the Baltimore cover. The people that are going to be there that are going to be working with like CWS that weekend, we're basically getting everyone to draw like a piece of the cover. So we like made this cool fractal shattered cover, and we're gonna like send it around, and everyone's gonna get like a chunk.
Cool. Yeah, I've seen people do that before.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun little jam piece. All right, cool. So, Davey, what else do you got going on? Do you have any cons coming up, or?
So I had Rose City 2 weekends ago now,
cool.
And when I got back, I just booked a couple local shows. I'm on the wait list for New York. I don't think I'll get in, unfortunately, but I'm on the wait list for that. And then I just have 2 shows local here in South Carolina in October and November that I picked up. Nothing big, but just little small backyard shows to add to my weekends.
That's like sometimes those are the best too.
For sure. And then beyond that, I just got a bunch of, in lack of cons, I've just made sure my calendar was full in my own personal deadlines. So I have the second installment of my Horror Cat series, Nine Tales, ready to go. I just need to start drawing it. And
Nice.
Obviously the Inktober we just briefly discussed. I have that going through all October, which I'll then turn into a zine at the end of the month. And just getting ready for, I guess, C2. C2 is usually like my first show of the year. So I'm kind of entering my off season to just load up on new material for the coming year.
Actually, same. You know, a lot of the stuff we've been doing on the show, I need to catch up because I know Max has been waiting on me to send files for the Spilled Ink book that we want to put together, the oversized one. And so I got to just touch them up a little bit on my computer. And
nice.
But like I want to do the Stoner Wars little like, you know, mini comic. I'll have this new mini comic to put out. And then I would definitely want to do one of my Inktober stuff this year as well. And then I have that Mastodon little 4-pager I'm working on as a mini comic. But I want to get all that done over the winter, and that way next year I have like just new material. I'll have 2 books coming out next year for sure. For sure, Fake Your Death and Teenage Babylon #1 are coming out next year. So we'll be making strides on that early on. But next year should be busy with like releases, which is great. So I'm pretty hyped. It's finally like my own work too, and I'm. It's one of those things. I guess. I know Max can feel that way to an extent too, where you're like, oh man, I have all this stuff coming out, but it's not like my own stuff. that I'm doing that I wanted to put out. You know,
Yeah,
um,
definitely.
yeah, like yeah, my work is finally coming out after all this time. Um, I had a few releases this year, I guess. I can't say I didn't. Just I guess the ones I wanted to come out this year didn't exactly come out. I guess that's just how it goes, though. And then on top of comic book stuff, we just have a lot of concerts coming up too out of nowhere. You can see what is happening. The Sound of Animals Fighting is in 2 weeks. And then AFI is up in the air. I don't think I'm gonna go see AFI though, sadly. And then we're gonna see Paris in December too.
Nice. I this weekend my stepson has his a powerlifting meet, and we've been prepping for that. But then next week on Wednesday we're going to see Death Haven and Harm's Way.
Ooh.
So pretty pumped to see
Ooh.
Death Haven because I haven't seen them yet.
Actually, last time I saw Death Haven was them opening up for AFI. That's wild. How's your injury coming back right now?
Well, so I'm
Recovery.
12 weeks from surgery now, so I'm now in the walking phase. So I'm learning to walk again. It's been a interesting journey to say the least.
What do they have you do to like kind of get back into that?
It's just like varied weight bearing exercises, X amount of pressure on my foot, and just strengthening all the muscles that's not been used for the past 3.5 months. So,
Oof, jeez.
yeah.
And you're still hitting the gym, but you're just doing like just avoiding your like I guess like lower body. Like is how can you is that what you're trying to do?
I mean, I'm not avoiding lower back, but I'm just anything that has a bend in the knee in the sense of the movement that isn't controlled, I just avoid. So I can't deadlift and I can't squat. But
Okay.
I've been doing variations of those things just to keep my body primed, and then just a lot of bench and overhead press. So I'm on my road back to my 315 bench. So
damn, dude, that's dope. That's all. I can't bench that much at all. I'm finally back at it, like more been more consistent the last like I guess month again, and it's been great. I didn't notice how moody I was when I wasn't gymming.
It'll catch up with you quick. At least for me.
Yeah, for real, dude.
Sorry, fellas. Keep getting booted
Oh,
out.
you're all good. All good, my dude. It happens. I'm putting up some references right now for some stuff to see if I could pull off some of these shots I'm trying to do. Might be overdoing it for a mini comic, to be honest, but that's what happens sometimes.
I don't know what's going on.
Ooh. So, Davey, what's your favorite Pokemon game?
Well, because I'm old, I have to say
yeah.
Crystal. I have to say Crystal, just because Gen 2 is my favorite gen. And I've probably played those games the most. Sneaking my Game Boy Color when I'm supposed to be sleeping and going to school the next day. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. The game
But
with the OG.
I played
the Game Boy
a
Color
crap
ones.
ton out of Scarlet and Violet that came out a couple of years ago. So.
Oh, Scarlet was great.
Anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I don't know if you can hear us. But definitely hear you. Pokemon were always one. Oh, go for it, Max.
My game of choice was Diamond,
Okay.
and then Platinum right after that. But that's like my core Pokemon for whatever reason. I like Emerald a lot too, though.
I was always like an early generation person. Once it got to like the 4th and 5th is where I like lost it.
Yeah, it wasn't
I
that
think
I
I just
wasn't into Pokemon then. I just was in my 20s, and
yeah.
it was just like finding the time that like really took away from it for me. But I was always like interested in Pokemon. And then with the announcement of Scarlet and Violet, my stepson piqued interest into it, so I got us Switches, and we both got Scarlet and Violet and played that one together. And then that put me right back into it, and I was like, man, I want to draw Gen 1. So slowly coming, but just about done with it now, finally.
Yeah, I think Gen 1 and Gen 2 are just my tops. Just hands down my tops. Oops, let me get this back up. And just like that nostalgic part hits too.
I actually did a fighting type piece recently. I haven't posted it online yet. I'll show it to you guys. But this one has Pokemon from all generations.
Ooh.
Let's see if we can switch over.
Oh, dude, that's sick.
And Saboteur, real quick, this is 18 by 24 paper. I gave it a pretty good margin, though, because it's got to be proportional to what the final product's going to be. So I think the working space is 19 by 14 and a half or something. But yeah, the overall paper is 18 by 24.
Yeah, working on color in that guy.
Nice, dude. That's sick. So, what do you use to color?
I typically color digitally, just because it's easier with printmaking and less hassle on it not looking right.
Yeah, totally.
I was doing watercolors for a while, but it just became such a pain with saturation and touch-ups in Photoshop. For whatever reason, in the process that I chose to get my prints made, I just wasn't always. There was an issue with the results. I wasn't always fully happy with it. So once I started coloring digitally, that kind of eliminated that problem.
What program do you use?
I've been using Photoshop since I was in high school, so I'm a little little crude in my ways. I want to learn what's it called? It's not Manga Studio anymore. What is it called now?
Oh, clip art, or is that the one you're talking about? That switched over? What is it? I know what
Clip
you're
Studio,
talking
I think it's called.
Yeah, Clip Studio. Yeah, Clip Studio
Yeah.
art. Yeah.
But I just haven't bit the bullet on it.
Oh, I get it. That one-time purchase is really tempting, and you could do so much on there too. I've thought about just getting it to check it out. Just like classic Procreate right now as I figure out the coloring process. Yo, okay, Jaja. Yeah, sure. I'll scoot over. What's up? It's in my face. Just jumped on the back of my chair and was like, yo, this is mine now. I am the captain. But Dave, you do some cool pet portraits too. Do you wanna so what got you into doing pet portraits so much too? Like, and just killing it at that?
Oh, for sure. It's funny that these conversations are happening now because I've actually stopped doing pet portraits this year.
Right? I haven't seen you do too much, like, or promote it in that sense.
Yeah, I fully pulled away just to focus on the comic side of it.
It's cool.
But I got into pet portraits because my cat Winston scratched his cornea, and this goes back to like 2014, and obviously didn't have the. I think at the time it was like around $3,000 for the replacement cells to fix his eye, and I was pretty unfamiliar, and the popularity of like GoFundMe's weren't really hitting off yet.
Mhm.
So I went to my Etsy, and my cat had an Instagram at the time, and I just promoted it as like, help me fix my cat's eye, I'll draw your pet. And it initially started with just 5x5 stretched canvases that you'd get from like Michael's or AC Moore, and I was painting them in gouache. It was just like simple headshots, and we raised the money to fix my cat's eye. And then after that, people kept wanting them because of all the resharing and all that jazz on Instagram at the time. People kept looking for them. And then I got really bored with doing the like 5x5 traditional portraits pretty quickly. But I wanted to keep that side hustle going in midst of my side job or my full-time job as well. And I was like, how can I make this fun for myself, but still also offer this service to make some side cash? And that's when I started combining it with the pop culture references like you saw initially, where I would dress up the animals as whatever pop culture reference the customer wanted. And then that just kind of took off, and I was doing more conventions at that time, switching over from like the punk rock flea market type deal to comic conventions and stuff. So it really resonated with the crowd. So I kept it going for a few years, but it just got to the point where every year I was buried in pet portraits and didn't have a lot of time to do my own personal stuff, much less just different stuff. So this past year I made the decision to really push hard on the comic side of it and take a big step back from offering those pet portraits, even though they were like an easy sell.
Oh yeah.
It just took so much time away from, it took so much time within my art that it took away time from doing the things I wanted to do. And it was a unfortunate business decision in the sense of like losing that money to try to get something a little more like consistent going in the sense of comics.
Dude, that makes
But
sense. So you gotta choose what works best for your workflow and shit, you know. So I mean,
for sure,
that
and it's been interesting because financially I've been down, not to an extreme, but down from what I was. But the flip coin to that is that the amount of sales I've made have doubled, if not more than doubled, at the shows, because I'm not moving these big piece items like the pet portraits, but I am moving a lot more of my art, which is kind of keeping my mental brain afloat of like, I am doing the right thing. People are having a reaction to my art outside of it being their pet. So it's been an interesting year, to say the least, as far as shows go. But I'm happy that I'm doing it. And I'm not going too far away from it because I do have the horror comic, which is very animal focused as of right now.
yeah, you kind of keep that. You've kind of built that audience for that, and you're kind of working with that with your new story, which I thought was really smart, even as you switch over a bit. Because I feel like everyone they want that from you in a sense. So starting off with a book like that, I think was the right move instead of going for something totally different. And I think that would be great for your next book, like on a marketing aspect of it all.
Oh, for sure. It's a familiarity thing, and it's in my head I was just like, it wasn't even about the business idea. I like cat comics in general. They're very far and few between that hit the shelves, but when they do come, I like, even if I'm not aware of the IP or whatever, I'll pick it up just because I'm always interested to see, like, in the sense of cat comics, what gets published by larger publishers. So I wanted to do it regardless of the pet portrait thing, but it just worked out well in the sense of keeping the audience I had obtained already interested, and then also trying to cast a further net with some new readers and gain some more customer base that wasn't familiar with me because of the pet portraits.
Exactly. I mean, that's crazy because like my first like comic I wanted to draw, which I haven't done, but it was Space Cadet, and it was going to be about T'Challa as like an astronaut. Because when I put on his leash, I always do this like little thing like Space Cadet, like I always call him that, and or I'll ask him like if he wants to be a Space Cadet, and he'll get all excited. And so I was gonna do a little thing like that. Plus, I had like Psycho mode where he had like Spawn eyes, because as you get to tell right now, it's being a little dick. And Kurt, he's the one that was messing with my camera right now and everything. But yeah, honestly, pet comics are the best. They're top tier. And that's kind of funny. I'm doing one on Spock, that my dog that passed away. It was this mini comic is about the day I adopted him. So I thought that was pretty sweet. Also in the chat, Brunson says, "Yo, what up, Brunson?"
What's up, man?
Did you or did anybody check out the Salem one shot that Archie put out? It was just like a full comic about Salem.
Yeah, I saw that. That looks super cool. Those modern Archie comics kind of kill. Not gonna lie, they're pretty dope.
Yeah, I picked it up on the sheer fact that it was just a black cat on the cover, and then the whole issue was about like Salem, and I was like, this issue didn't need to go as hard as it did, but it was so good.
Yeah. Oh, we lost you there for a second. You kind of broke up. Actually, like speaking of Archie comics too, I think I've only read like 3 or 4. I'm not like a big fan of like the OG Archie stuff, or maybe I just haven't read one that like really got my attention. T'Challa, I swear to God, dude, you're gonna like drive me crazy. But I've read 3 of them. I've read the Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the one that's more of a straight up horror comic. If you guys haven't checked that one out, that one's sick. Like, it is one of the coolest books I've ever read. And if you want to get in like a fall autumny vibe, like find that Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and it's a straight up horror comic, and it feels like an classic EC book too. Like the way it's colored and drawn and everything, it surprised me that it was like Sabrina, but straight up horror, great stuff. And then of course I've read Archie Meets the Ramones and Archie Meets Kiss, which actually I'm interviewing the writer of both those books, Alex Segura, on Monday night. When I realized he was the one that wrote those Archie books, I was like, yeah, the only Archie books I've ever read were by him. Oh, cool.
The only other Archie books I read were Sonic and Turtles. So unrelated. But Archie Publishing.
I heard those Sonic books are actually really good.
Yeah, for sure.
My old co-host on Apollo City Comics, Brandon, he was a really big fan. T'Challa, I swear to God, why are you being a little brat, dude? Stop fucking with that. He was really into the Sonic comics. All right, let me kick your ass. Get over here. What are you doing? I have to like hold him like he's a child throwing a tantrum until he calms down. And he's like, all right, I'll stop. Do you just want your tummy scratched? Is that all you wanted? Go. All right. This entire time he's been like stepping on like the computer and like sliding stuff around, and I've been trying to like cautiously not kill him on air.
I have a question for you, Brandon.
Huh?
Do you sometimes miss just having to draw one picture on this show?
Oh, dude, I wish we did that now because it'd be way easier.
Yeah. I'm doing like I don't even know how many panels are on this page, but sometimes I'm like, damn, it'd be nice to just draw like one very pretty panel and be like, I'm done. You know? It's like now I gotta make 20 that look good.
I'm looking at like dog reference photos right now, and I didn't come prepared today at all. I had such a busy week, like, and then I typically use like Thursdays because I know I'm gonna work for like 2.5 hours in the evening. I'll like have a shorter day, and then I'll plan my page or just figure out what I'm gonna draw at least before the show, so I could talk and it's easier to be prepared. Did not get that chance this week at all.
Yeah.
And so like I'm like doing pencils and figuring out what to like reference, like
Yeah,
so
and yeah, with this piece that I'm doing, it's like I'm drawing like food, vehicles, nature, architecture, people, bears, fish, objects, like literally everything, you know. I've got different panels dedicated to different stuff. So it's kind of a nightmare jumping back and forth on all the perspective and organic matter and all this junk. And then trying to make the compositions look nice too.
yeah. I'm bad at doing layouts on there. And I get why you were quiet those 2 weeks you're doing layouts because you're just focusing so much on like trying to make this as decent and ready as possible.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah, composition work is a nightmare.
What are some of your you'll be drawing a lot of dogs right now, Davey. What are some of your dog drawing tips? What have you learned about drawing animals?
Uh,
It's a really vague question, I know.
yeah. I feel like for the most part, it's just a like scaling thing for their bodies, and a lot of selling a breed really breaks down to its face, and then obviously there's short hair and long hair, but yeah, I don't know. I would pretty much use the same type of muscularity for any pet portrait I would be doing, and then just really focus on selling the breed in the face department. Unless it was like a fat animal, then I would have to like work a little bit around that to make the personal pet look a little more chunky.
Or like special breeds, you know, like a dachshund is gonna have a lot different of a body shape than like
For sure.
Whatever, or like a greyhound versus like a Rottweiler or whatever, you know. There's but like most dogs,
like a greyhound and a Rottweiler, you could if you're putting it in I mean, I don't know if Brandon's drawing anything else on it, but if you're putting it in an Iron Man suit, the framework is arguably the same,
right?
In the sense of like time, like doing it in a timely manner. Those are like just tricks I would use, because as long as it wasn't something like a dachshund or like a pug, the framework of the body was basically usually using reference photos of a lab, a German Shepherd, or a golden retriever, just because there's like the most amount of pictures of those dogs online. And then the other trick that I would use for drawing dogs is I would do like the cannonball contests, because you get some really fun, you get to see like the extreme anatomy stretch of an animal with those dog cannonball contest photos.
Oh, that's pretty sick. Yeah. It's fun because I think it's making me like think about like eyes a lot more, like capturing that excitement and that energy, you know?
Yeah, animals in general are just tricky, man. Like unless you take the time to study them and figure out like okay, this is what four-legged mammals look like. This is what like birds look like. I took a class in college on like just dedicated to animal studies, and we worked our way up from like small like rodents and like fish, and then up to like weirdo animals like giraffes and stuff. But it was fun. We did everything. It was crazy.
I feel like I'm not on the opposite end of that pond because I've spent the past like 9 years doing pet portraits, and when I go to draw like a human face, I'm always like, oh man, a dog's face is so much easier.
Yeah.
They're also kind of like, I don't know, whenever you're drawing a creature or alien, it's always a little bit easier to kind of like warp with it a little bit. It's kind of how I'm feeling about it right now. What up, John? Part-time Comics. Do you have a Kickstarter going right now? I think you do. Do you not? Did it just end? Maybe you're always busy. Oh, wow, I forgot to put info on that. I just realized.
But yeah, speaking of dogs, that is a big part of the third issue that I have scripted for the Ninetales book. I don't know. Did you? I don't think you have a copy of Ninetales, Brandon.
No, I was gonna pick it up because I thought I was gonna see you, but I haven't seen you.
But there's a very specific panel that I'll show on screen that is a lot of what the third issue is about. Let's see if we can get some.
Oh yeah.
So there's these dogs having a seance.
Wow.
There we go. Now
There
it's
you
in
go.
focus.
That's
So-
cool. Well, I can get that shaggy dog.
Oh yeah, the ones with like the dreads.
Yeah.
I forget what they're called. But yeah, I just wanted like a really weird assortment of different breeds. I think I need to cut another 6x9. It was cool. I was in the having my shower thoughts the other day, as we all do, and the third issue kind of just like formed naturally as I was thinking about the second issue, and I had never experienced that on a writing side of things. And I was like, oh, so this is how it works.
That's
It was
beautiful.
just like the
Always
pieces
best.
falling into place without much effort, which was pretty nice for a change. I was like, I am making sense with what I'm doing.
When that hits you out of nowhere, it's always the greatest feeling. Like you just feel like you feel like such a creative genius. Like I can do this. It's amazing. John Part-Time Comics says it went live Tuesday. I'm always live. Hell yeah. All right, cool. I need to make sure we back it. Got to get a link. And Retro Roman Doomsday and Simulation Channel says, "Greeting host and chat. What up, my dude? Thanks for popping up in our Inspired Ink episode the other night. It was really cool seeing you." Maybe get everybody on that show in this room. I've never done like a real. I did one interview with Max actually.
Yeah.
Saboteur saying, "Does everyone have like 5 stories that pop in their mind in the shower, and you just want to work on something else?" Yeah, that happens. That happens. That happens to me in projects. I like adopt projects, like people like have kids and whatnot. You know what I mean?
I'm kind of tempted to do that right now because I got an opportunity that came up, and so I'm like, do I want to push off my book another however long so I can go do this other thing? And I don't know. We'll see what happens. I might just say do both, but I also work a job.
I know. Feel that. And then like even my job, sometimes I get cram in a few minutes of drawing or something every so while. I can't. Prepping for Baltimore and all this stuff, it just has me swamped. And then we're gonna be doing like final edits and looks at panels in the next couple weeks, and then that's gonna get crazy, and then we're gonna flip that out sometime in November, December, and then POD's right around the corner to hit, which is great. So that's gonna go great. I'm really excited. We just had leaps in that one this week. We've been like working with other partners and everything, and it's crazy what you learn about like other companies and other like just like printing in general. I don't know, it's crazy. Our quality checks are so high right now that when you get something that doesn't pass it, you're like, man, this is trash. um, but it feels like you put like progress into something, and you're like, all right, we got to backtrack a bit. But I'm excited. Let me just toss this full of dog heads now. But John Part-Time Comics says middle of the night, all good for ideas. That's when they hit me the most. Just late out of nowhere, they'll just like hit me, and I'm just like, damn, I have to get this done now. I'm typing on my phone right before I'm passing out and whatnot. I'm just kind of looking at my the animal shelter I follow, because I'm drawing all the dogs that are up right now. It's kind of interesting finding a spot to start with an animal too, because I don't do like a basic head shape the way I would like a human. I'm kind of just like, I'll start from like the nose or the ear or something.
You get shapey with it. You're just focusing on shapes.
Yeah. Get that tongue going. I think we might have lost Darryl for a bit. I know his system was kind of wigging out tonight for some reason. He'll probably pop back in. I think
So
proportions with dogs are, that's what I got to pay attention to. You're right, Davey.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's usually a scale outside of a handful of breeds. It's all like a scaling thing. They all kind of break down the same way. And then obviously you're putting the fur over them, but you can get away with a lot with a general base for cats and dogs. I think one of the hardest but easiest animals to draw are rodents. So I did a couple like ferrets, guinea pigs, and like hamster pet portraits. And it's easy to draw them in like a static thing, but if you put them in a dynamic pose, it kind of makes a brain scratch for you. You're like, what is the limitations of these things?
Yeah, I used to have pet rats, and I love drawing those MFers because they're just like, I don't know if you've ever done any animation, but I'm sure you've seen like the flour sack test animations, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, animate a sack of flour, and that's exactly how rats work. They're just like funny little like meat tubes, essentially. It's real weird. But they're very flexible and fluid for the most part. Like maybe like stuff like guinea pigs aren't, you know, but rats and mice are for sure. And ferrets too.
Yeah, I think the closest thing I did was like a ferret. I never did a rat or like I did a chinchilla. That was like another one I did. That was a fairly fun anatomy to play with, but also like a little perplexing because there's this like so much but so little going on in just a sphere of an area.
Yeah.
And the chinchilla, they wanted them to be a Sith Lord, so like I had to draw like this like Sith armor on this like little pudge ball thing.
Dude, yeah, I have a like. I was talking to my girlfriend. I was telling her that you're gonna be on the show, and she was like, "He's the guy that we want to get the epic portrait from." And I was like, "Yeah, that's the guy. We wanted to get something above our staircase and have you do it of us like as like in the animals as like the bat family." And I was like, "That'd be
Yeah.
great."
Yeah, I still honor anyone that comes up to me at a show that like mentions it or like had knew me prior to it because of that. I'll still like honor the taking on like a pet portrait. I'm just like no longer advertising it. So
Yeah, totally makes sense though. I mean, when you kind of build up a skill and a thing, and then you got to focus on you're just focusing on your projects, you know, like you got to make those advancements, or else I feel like you could get static, or then you're gonna have that thing that almost came out and never did, you know, like no one
I just
wants
wasn't enjoying it it got to like a certain
Oh,
level where I
yeah.
wasn't enjoying it.
That's
So I was like, I
rough,
need to
yeah.
do something different. I think that was in part though because I had stories I wanted to tell and there was just like no opportunity to do it. So
Yeah, especially when those type of projects are like yearning to get out, and you're like, I could, but I'm holding myself back to an extent. It's good that you caught that too, and didn't just get stuck in that loop.
yeah, it was a discussion with my wife. You know, I was well aware that it was going to be like a hit financially to like stop doing those, but I was like, dude, long term, this can bring on more work and more money if I just keep at it. And I'm getting older. So we decided as a team, we were like, yeah, that sounds about right. Plus my wife doesn't want me to be unhappy. So
Yeah,
thankfully she was fully on board with it.
I'm stoked that you were like getting so much off of that too. That's really sick.
Yeah, if I had faster hands, I mean, it wouldn't be an issue, but those portraits just took so much time.
What's your average time on one of those?
Well, I had initially I had like 3 tiers where it was just like a standard, which was just like just the pet, no background or anything. Those would typically take me like 2 hours to do, but like everyone would always get the premium, which would be 11 by 15, and it would be like a like simple background. But I then got like overzealous and then started doing airbrushing with my watercolors. So then there was like masking times, there was drying times. I was like doing way too much for this $225 commission. Not that wasn't like enough that the person was paying. I was just wasting too much time on it.
Yeah.
And then the tier above that was like the Supreme tier, which was 11 by 17. And that usually like incorporated text because the point of that tier was like if someone wanted a comic cover or a movie poster or something with like lettering involved, then I'd be doing all this, again, masking and rulering for the lettering to match whatever reference they wanted. And I got some fun ones. I did like a Fast and the Furious one with these 2 dogs, which was really funny. And I did like a first appearance of Wolverine Hulk issue with someone's cats. All of them were like fun. It just the amount of time I would have to take on it. Some of them would go up to like past 12 hours of work I'd be putting into it across a week. And I'd still have like 12 to 15 more commissions after that one. So, and then I would also have the shows. So it'd be like, I'd be working back to back from shows to pet portraits, the pet portraits to shows.
Dang, yeah, it's a lot of back and forth. Yeah, and
Yeah.
especially if you're just trying to get to your own book at that point, you're just, I mean, it's like, okay, like you would decide that with any job probably, you know what I mean? If you had like a day job that was just taking up way too much of your time and it was making it impossible for you to like do projects and work on what you want to, and then you're like, well, I got to have this discussion where like I can switch jobs and things will be different for a bit, but I'll be happy, get to do what I want. What's the best thing, I don't think it's so much of like giving up you're not like giving up on of course you're not giving up on your art or anything, but you're not like bailing on this in a sense. And it's more of like, oh, I got to grow, and in order for me to do that, I gotta arrange some stuff for that growth to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a more serious talk when you got like bills and all that jazz. Unfortunately, those affect us more than our creativity does some days. So.
Oh, dude, I feel that, dude. Yeah, that's down.
But it's funny because the idea I had prior to Ninetales is a larger scale project, which is why I'm not doing it currently. But I came up with it in 2020, and I've been like refining it since then. But it has a lot of human characters in it, but it's also very animal based, which is just unironically, like, I didn't do it on purpose. It's just, I guess, creatively, it's where my brain goes or travels, which makes sense why I did the pet portraits for as long as I did. But it involves, in the sense of Pokemon, it's kind of like Pokemon meets Bloodsport, the movie.
Oh, nice.
And it's like set in a dystopian future. So like people have cybernetically augmented their animals to do like underground cockfighting, in the sense of like a Bloodsport, like Kumite type fashion.
Sick. That's awesome. Do you feel like you've also built up a lot of skill by doing those like insane pet portraits of like superheroes and all this different stuff? Like, do you feel like that really did like launch you further than you may have realized by taking on that stuff?
In certain aspects, I feel like the crux of any comic artist is like there's always something you've never drawn that now you're drawing.
Yeah.
So like, yes or no, it helps in the sense of Ninetales because it's all very heavily animal based. And if it's not animal, then it's like weird creatures or monsters. So the human element's very limited with that, which is a nice buffer for me to get back into drawing like figure work. That's actually like passable outside of my sketchbook. And I mean, I don't think I'll ever have an issue drawing like a dog or a cat. So I mean, I have that on lock. It also like just invents ideas in my head of like, I don't know if other creatives do this or if you guys, but I'm constantly thinking of, if I get that door, like that elevator pitch moment, what character is not threatening enough to be handled by an unknown person?
Yeah.
In the terms of like bigger companies. And Dexstar is like one of my favorite characters from DC, the Red Lantern cat.
Yeah.
So I'm like constantly thinking of like that as like a thing, or there's multiple animal characters in the Marvel universe, and I've seen like they've done like little one shots here and there, and I'm just like, these are the ideas I need to have like locked and loaded to go. So I'm always thinking about those things, and I know that like at a drop of a hat I'll be able to draw anthropomorphic or animal type creatures, because of those pet portraits that I did for so long.
That's sick. That's super dope.
One of my favorite things that came out a few years ago was the Marvel Meow. I don't know if any of you guys picked that up.
Oh no, I don't know about that. What is it?
So hold on, because it's readily accessible. When I saw it on the shelf, I was like, "Oh, this is so cool!" Had to have it.
It's funny that I can draw fish at a drop of a hat now too.
Well, you grab that.
It's
Darryl
like,
says
it's like that muscle memory where it's just not going to go away, but for whatever reason, my ability to draw a human face has vanished.
it's hard. I mean, that's the biggest thing I need to work on right now myself, to be honest. So I was down to draw a dog tonight. Real quick, Darryl was saying, hey everyone, unfortunately due to network issues I'm unable to hop on, but for everyone just pretend I'm still in the corner drawing John Cena. I love Darryl. We'll get you on next week or something, Daryl. We'll get that fixed up. You will be missed. Everyone's so busy with conventions and everything going on right now, and little events. I think that's why and school is really in session right now for a lot of people. Oh crap! I just ran out of lead.
So this is the one book that came out, but they also came out with like a one shot, which was like a double size issue. But I think just from a creative standpoint, this is one of the cooler things that Marvel has put out.
Ooh, what?
So it's nice little square format.
Yeah.
And then every page is just like a 9-panel simple story, but it's like
That's
two
cute.
color or 3 colors, like black and
Yeah.
white, and then like one cover, and it's just like different
What?
characters.
I love that. I would
It's like-
totally pick that up.
I mean, that's an indie book. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Like, oh yeah, I wish you would focus.
Dude,
So,
that's
yeah,
so
like
sick.
the pictures are so cute. Like even like this, that's like very reminiscent of like what I was drawing.
Yeah, very much so.
And then let's see. And even like this one was a really funny one.
Lead. Ooh.
So silly, but they're like so
Love that.
fun, and like it's cool to see the 9-panel idea like reworked so many ways by the same artist.
Damn.
So I thought they were really cool. Not many people I've met have known about it either, which is like pretty weird. Because I feel like Marvel kind of, this is a really nice
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't get pushed that more.
production, but it's just like literally even Taskmaster gets a page with a cat.
What?
So I mean, like for these 2 panels alone, it's worth it in my opinion.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
Are
really
you-
cool.
Are you big on like formalist stuff? You know, like 9-panel grids or 16-panel, or like just like playing with the craft and medium of comics, or you just kind of like what looks good?
I think I'm enamored with that idea of like those type of things. Like Jesse Lorgan is a dude who like
Yeah.
plays with like
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
all of the time, and I'm just like, my brain don't work that way. I think it's in part my my frontal lobe abuse of the 90s of just like nonsense in comics.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like rework through that with doing comics now. So prior to Nine Tails, I hadn't drawn a comic to completion since like 2013, I think. So it'd been a long time since I like went down and put it on the page and made a book. And what I learned by doing that was like whatever I had then is gone. Because I look back at like that work I had printed, and obviously it's like for the most part dog shit. But like some of the like panel layouts I've looked at, I was like, I don't even know how I came up with that then, much less now. I think I read a lot of manga for sure, and I definitely read a lot of comic books, but I think in the sense of like studying panel layouts, I studied Invincible so hard that it's like pretty deeply rooted in my creative process. And that book is like so tame when it comes to panel layouts.
Makes sense.
That it's just like, for lack of a better term, fairly like generic and safe.
Gotcha.
I'm trying to like break those molds, but I think that's just going to come with repetition.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I definitely come from like a formalist school. Like, yeah, Jesse Lonergan, Dave Baker. I mean, Frank Miller was doing a little bit of it. I had another really good example of somebody Chris Ware you know, like people who just like break the medium.
Dude, I'm really into J.H. Williams, and so like that's why like even with like my Stoner Wars, I try to like I told myself I was like I'm just gonna do like a simple 6 panels every page and just make a little story with 6 panels, and then that went out the window by like comic two, like page two. I did that's when I did like I went from doing like 6 panels to like the next one was like
Yeah.
21 panels or something ridiculous, and then the next one was the star fight that went throughout the entire page and everything. Like I feel like I think because I write really formalist. I feel like because that's the way I think of stuff. But now that I've been drawing, I think my brain gets to like have more fun. Like even with this mini comic, my first panel here, it's kind of hard to see with the blue light. Might be a little bit better there. But so I have a back shot of us in a car talking. It says shelter on top. I'm gonna put words right here. And this one has a bunch of like dogs in the corners and like barking. And then I turned this panel into like a 6 panel grid. um and so I don't know, even with the mini comic, I'm realizing I'm kind of having weird fun with it.
Yeah. But then the problem with doing stuff like that too is then you have to get really good at drawing things small.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like that's something that I've been practicing because I was reading Danny Warren Johnson's Space Mullet,
Oh nice.
and that guy is so good at drawing really small figures that still
Mhm.
have like life, and because he fits so many panels on a page, he he's got them big and close up, but he's also got them really really tiny in comparison to their environment. And so I was like studying the different shorthands he uses to draw things at different size.
Yeah, he's definitely one I study a lot myself. Him and James Herron. James Herron's my favorite comic artist. So I've been rereading Rumble recently. I don't know if any of you guys read that.
No, I haven't.
So an ancient warrior god soul, because like obviously they're gods, so they don't die. In the present day, gets put into a scarecrow. So he's like the fierce warrior, but he's also a scarecrow. So he has to fear a lot of things now because of his frail body. And the whole point of the series is him trying to get his body back, which has been stolen from him. But it's John Arcudi and James Herron. So same team when they were on like BPRD.
Oh, okay, cool.
But yeah, I wish James Herron would do more books. I'm so grateful for Ultra Mega, but I feel like he's barely done anything to like go over at and stuff. And Ultra Mega is such a crescendo of a series. I don't know if any of you guys have read that one.
I want to. I haven't dove into it though.
It's a beautiful, beautiful book. But as far as like, yeah, I can do that, it's not one of those books for me, at least.
Dude, it's a cool looking book though. Like it looks super dope. I really want to check it out.
Yeah, both trades are out now, so it's real easy to pick up if you just wanted to get a reading copy.
Yeah, some of that stuff, I love how like crazy the line work is on a book like that too. It just feels wild from the start. Like when you feel the energy bouncing off of it the way it does, like that's what excites me about books like that.
Yeah. Well, I think he's reached a peak, at least from a viewer standpoint, of like reduction and minimalist, where he'll have one corner of the body be like super hatched and shadowed, and then the rest of the body is almost silhouette to a point, but like it just reads so fast. I'm like, I'll attain that ability one day.
Yeah, right. I feel that.
But today's not
higher
the day.
higher Valsam says hello. Hello, Valsam. And Saboteur says Chris Ware is amazing. Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, this composition is based on a Chris Ware piece.
Ooh.
The composition for this cover.
I'm put up a bunch of pictures of dogs that I have in my phone. So I'm drawing Javi's dog. Link right now. Tossing them in here. I have a really cute picture of him wearing a Hawaiian shirt. Actually, check this out. It's freaking adorable. We got him a little shirt because he's like our grandson. We're never gonna have kids, so we're like all of our grandchildren are animals.
That was like one of the most common breeds, that like Maltese or Maltese mix type
Oh,
dog. I would
bet,
do
dude.
so many of those.
Those
damn
white
things.
dogs.
Yeah, I bet.
Any of those crinkly little white little whatevers, you know?
Shih
Everybody's
Tzus
got
are really
one.
fun to draw too. Shih Tzus and like Pomeranians, their faces are like a lot of fun because it is the opposite of everything else that you learn to draw every other type of dog. Plus, they're
Yeah.
very similar to like Persians, which is the types of cats I have. So
Oh,
it was
nice.
right at home for me.
Yeah, I've got one really generic looking dog, and then I've got one little pug Frenchie monster, you know, that's just an abomination. And I love them both.
So
I can't wait to
might
have a
change the
dog.
subject. Has anyone in the chat or drawing currently been playing Silk Song?
No, but my partner's been playing Hollow Knight. He hasn't bunched he hasn't gotten Silksong yet because he hasn't played the original.
I put way too many hours in Hollow Knight, so that game is awesome as well. But all of my free time recently has been going to Silk Song. Have you ever seen the art for that, Brandon?
No, let me look it up real fast. I feel like that sounds really familiar though. Silk Song. Yeah, it popped up right away.
Yeah, because it's
Oh, yeah,
it's a huge
yeah.
game right now.
Oh,
Do you think Silksong is too hard? I know a lot of people were like flaming it for it being too hard.
So I'll get on my soapbox for 2 minutes about the Hollow Knight community and its noobs that have entered. It's no harder than Hollow Knight, in my opinion. And I think people are just so quick to post a negative reaction or comment about the game before progressing and getting further into the game.
Right.
I've had no issue in comparison to Hollow Knight. I think Hollow Knight arguably was more punishing at the start of the game, just in like how many times I died. But yeah, I don't think people. I don't think people were prepared enough, outside of like the people who were like real hardcore about Hollow Knight, to know what Silk Song was going to be. So I think it was this premature estimation. Also, the game becomes easier the more you get gear, which is like any Metroidvania. So
Right.
I feel like a lot of that was just like, have you ever played a Metroidvania before, or are you just doing this for clicks? That's how it came off to me.
Gotcha. Yeah, because it's like it's also somewhat of a Souls-like, and
Yeah.
if you think about the Dark Soul games, it's either you don't play them because it's too hard, or you play them because you love that it's hard.
For sure, and I definitely
people-
entertain a like punishing game. I personally think Blasphemous is harder than Hollow Knight or Silk Song is personally.
Oh, okay.
And that's like another Metroidvania.
Yeah.
So, can it be annoying? For sure, but I think that's the whole point of the playstyle, is for it to be like you die a lot.
Well, and it also, in my opinion, right, it lets you enjoy the game longer.
Yeah, definitely adds hours to playtime. I just feel like there's a lot of younger people. I hate saying that, but I feel like there's a lot of younger people that would like want a casual mode, and it's like, well, the whole point of Hollow Knight and Metroidvanias at large aren't for the story. There's a story there, but it's also like Dark Souls, where it's like very cryptic and you kind of have to like read into it. The whole point of the game is for the gameplay, and that gameplay is very torturous. So that's why there's like no easier casual mode for Hollow Knight or Silksong or most Metroidvanias. If anything, you beat the base game and then you just get a harder mode. You don't get an easier mode. And I just think people want a casual mode, which is, their prerogative, but you pick the wrong genre of game, I think, for
yeah,
that.
just go play a different game at that point. That's funny.
Yeah, I noticed like a lot of I feel like negative reviews pop up more because more people are complaining because they're just doing it for streams, they're not doing it for like an actual love of the game or whatever
Well,
they're actually contenting,
Yeah, it's like the two extremes of reaction. It's like the reaction videos where like, I've never seen this before. Okay. And the whole time they're reacting at like a 13 on a 10 scale, or they're just
Yeah.
like ripping it apart. And I'm just like, come back to me in a month after you've let this like soak a little bit and ruminate. One of the things I've done this year, which has been like the best choice I've ever made, not necessarily a New Year's resolution, but it was just like, out of the exhaustion that I had for the past like 2 or 3 years, was this entire year I've refused to watch any trailers for anything.
That's cool.
Zero trailers, zero know-how of anything other than whatever the promotional art is, like the movie poster or any promotional art for like a video game. And then I'll read articles here and there, but mainly just basing it off the visual. To kind of go back to like the kid in the video store when I was younger and just pick the coolest VHS tape. And it's made my viewing experience this year so much more enjoyable because I don't have any of those like reaction videos. I've seen a bunch now because of Silksong, because I'm playing it. So it's just constantly in my feed. But like not having any of those trailers or any of that information in the front of my head when I'm going into seeing something has just made everything way more enjoyable. And I think that's in part somewhat of the issue, I feel like, when it comes to like modern content creators and things like that, with reactions and like needing to put those opinions out there first. They're just putting it on an extreme of like what they've seen, or like a very limited viewing of like seeing it once or playing it once. As opposed to like fully enjoying it for just what it is.
Yeah, 100%, dude. I can totally see that.
I've actually cataloged my movie watching this year, and so far this year, I've watched 297 movies. Some of them I've seen before, but like a good chunk of them have been like first time viewings. And I have a spreadsheet and everything, and I've been tracking all my scores. It's been a lot of fun.
You don't just use Letterboxd?
No, because I got Letterboxd and I forgot about it. Plus, Letterboxd only goes up to like 5 stars, and for whatever reason, prior to even someone else suggesting Letterboxd, I've always done like decimal points out of 10. So like it's always a very like odd number. Yeah.
Right.
And like I don't know, I don't have like per se like verbal reviews on there on like my spreadsheet. It's just like scores and things like that, but it's fun to see because it also, because it's a spreadsheet, it lists the order I've watched them in this year, so kind of like shows my mood a little bit in terms of viewing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's cool. That's a lot of fun. I tried doing that once, and it's kind of interesting what you start to capture and see, and what you start to appreciate a little bit more because you're so in the weeds with stuff like that.
Yeah, we finally started watching Alien Earth.
Oh, nice. I've only seen the first episode so far.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, it's great. I can't wait to do more of it. We actually just started our like horror movie binge at this point. So Lex and I made we wrote down a whole bunch of uh movies in a notebook, and then we like cut them all up, and then we have this little cauldron, and we put them all in the cauldron. So every other night we alternate who pulls. I think it's like, I don't know, it's my turn tonight, so that means so I get even days, she gets odd days, so we'll alternate that way with pulling a movie. Um and So last night was the first night to kick it off, and we have all sorts of stuff on there. We have like even like like she has like Halloween Town, like Disney like fluffy
Yeah, yeah,
movies, and I have like cool stuff, and there's some scary stuff, of course. But we started off with the Babadook, and I had never seen the Babadook before,
Nice.
and that was just a what a way to start. Movie
Yeah.
scared the shit out of me, dude. I had to watch like 2 episodes of Brave and the Bold after that, like, and then like not go to bed for a bit. I was like really awake. Um, but yeah, that was a horror deal. And then last night, not necessarily like a horror movie, but still along those lines, we pulled The Lighthouse. That was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an artsy fartsy movie.
Yeah, I dug the hell out of it. I hadn't seen either one of those movies before, so that was super cool. So I think we're gonna
Are
try
you
to
not
do
a
one
big
more
horror
tonight.
person, Brandon?
No, I'm not. I'm not a horror person at all. I really
Nick-
wasn't into horror until I started dating Lex.
Yeah,
She's a
he's a horror poser.
defensive.
So he's learning the true ways now.
It's always
just-
funny when I hear people say like, "Oh, we're having like a horror stint," and I'm just like, "That's every day for me." It's like,
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I didn't grow up with it. My dad wasn't a horror person at all, and then I wasn't into like slasher films at all, and that's all like I kind of knew from horror movies growing up. And then the few horror movies I did end up watching as a kid, it was like those frustrating, like, oh, why would you do that type of thing in horror movies? Like, it makes no sense. Like, you're walking right into this type of shit. And I was like, I'm just turned off from the genre. And it really wasn't until like I was older, and I guess like that era when I was kind of getting into David Lynch and like kind of weird shit like that. And that's when like around Midsommar came out, and I saw that in theaters, just like on a whim. And then that's when I really found like, oh, okay, so there is stuff I like stuff like that and Color Out of Space. I was like, oh, so I just had to like, just like anything, you got to find what's appeals to you.
Yeah, you should really watch Suspiria. I think you'd really like Suspiria, Brandon.
Oh yeah, they're
the
on
original.
Either one, I think you would like.
I have them both on the list. They're in the cauldron, the original and the new one.
Nice.
I've encountered just purely out of like production value, as they say, like people disliking the original, and I'm just like, that's the whole charm of it, in my opinion, is like that it's a little rough.
Oh, that's
Oh,
pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's an old movie made in a foreign country. Like,
Yeah.
Also, like 70s like horror is like the shit I love the most too. Like I love that.
Well, that's why
I love
like,
seeing
one of
how-
my favorite movies is House or House Sue. I don't know if you've seen that.
yes. Uh-huh.
So it's it goes hand in hand with my cat comic of why I would make a cat comic. That's like my favorite horror movie for sure.
Oh,
Only
I'm catching
second
on the
to
chat here.
Mallrats, which is my other favorite movie.
I fucking love Mallrats so much, dude. Valsam said, drawing a nice horse bust. Dude, hell yeah. Kill it. As in like kill it in the drawing. Don't kill the horse. I'm a big animal person.
Animal rights activist to be
yeah.
like,
Yeah,
please,
right, yeah.
please don't kill the horse.
Carl, hey Carl. He says, hello everyone. Sent you some books yesterday, Brandon. Hi, dude. Thank you. Super excited. Saboteur Comics, is anyone just go into watching movies because of the companies such as Troma or Hammer?
I don't know either of those companies.
Oh yeah,
No.
I'm big on those. Tromeo and Juliet is the main reason why I love James Gunn. So
Oh, really?
it was James Gunn's first movie, and it's a Troma version of like Romeo and Juliet. So it's just like
What?
splatterhouse body horror, Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, I gotta check that out. That sounds great. I might toss that in the cauldron.
It's very pervy. Just a fair warning.
Is
if
it
you're not
really
into that.
stuff? That makes sense. Yeah, Sebastian. And then we have Retro Roman Doomsday and Simulation channel says, I'm not into gore at all. I do love suspense. Argentino is prime.
Yeah, Argento.
Argento. 70s horror is the best, Saboteur says. Oh my god.
That's
Sebastian,
Texas
ow.
Chainsaw Massacre, right?
It's on our list too, yeah. 1974.
Inferno's good. Yeah.
Inferno, yeah. Let me check that out. Inferno's great. You have to watch all three mothers. I have the books that inspired. Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah. See,
Argento.
I don't know a ton about Argento. I really like Suspiria, but I'm more into like the
Sebastian.
Hellraiser stuff.
Sebastian.
Like I've read a lot of the Clive Barker's stuff, and I think the Hellraiser universe is pretty cool too.
Yeah, I'm like a 10-pointed star. I like every type of horror for the most part. My favorite is like Japanese like splatterhouse horror, but I like any type of horror. My wife always makes fun of me because when I plug my hard drive in to watch movies on our TV, it's just like 30 horror, then a rom-com, 30 horror, then a teen movie. So
It's amazing.
can't get enough of it.
Yeah, I'm always hyped because dude, come on, Sebastian. Okay, that's good. You can stay there. My cats today, dude. All three of them have done something today to mess with the stream. Yeah, I don't know. I think now that I've really kind of like found where in the genre I have like my limits, because I can't do stuff like Terrifier. I saw the first one and I was like, fuck this. I can't.
Yeah,
No,
that's the type of like Japanese movies I watch.
yeah, I can't. It's a bit much. Dude, that they slice that girl in half, like no way, dude. Like that. Screaming that whole time.
Me and my wife went to go see Terrifier 2 in the theaters. It was so worth. I mean, if you like it, it's so worth seeing. So worth seeing in the theater. I was so happy that we saw it.
I
And
kind
it's
of
a
like
Christmas movie, so now I get to put that
Yeah.
in the top of my list for Christmas movies.
It's very true too. I forgot what I was to say. So I was like trying to find this photo. No, my girlfriend doesn't like clowns either. So I was like, oh, cool. We can just skip that one.
Really?
Yeah, dude, Lex cannot
Didn't
do
know
clowns.
that.
Yeah. He's
Oh,
not a
man.
clown person. Oh, it's Saboteur. My cat's sitting on my computer, so I can't pull up the comment. But since the Terrifier is the only recent movie I've seen that I wanted to walk out in 10 minutes. Dude, yeah, I can't. Fucking I can't do that
Boo!
shit. No way.
I just don't like slashers in general. That's my thing.
Yeah, I'm not like I'm still gonna check them out. Like I'm still gonna give them the chance. Like, but I'm not like into Friday the 13th or Freddy or Jason or stuff like that. Like,
See, I have to put a little bit of respect on some of them, you know. But
yeah,
overall, the genre, like I can't.
I'm not big on them. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like that's why I'm like, I'm gonna watch them, check out the first few for sure, just for. It's kind of just like a staple, so you got to check it out. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
but I'm not. I mean, well, we put on Hellraiser last year, and I don't know, maybe I just wasn't in the mood for it, but it was the first one, and I was just bored. I didn't, we like stopped watching it. Like we didn't get very far. I think we just weren't in the mood for it though. I got to sit down and watch it.
Oof. My heart's starting to hurt, guys.
I think it's like I'm always doing stuff when we watch movies sometimes too. So if I'm too distracted and I'm not like, if I'm too locked into what I'm doing and I can't lock into the thing, it's probably just because I wasn't focusing.
Have you guys seen Weapons yet?
I want to.
No,
I've
but I
heard
want
great
to
things.
so bad.
Yeah.
I want to so bad.
So good. Me and my wife watched it the other night. Gave it like an 8-1. So I was like, and I'm a tough scorer. So I was like really happy with it. I wasn't the biggest fan of Barbarian. Like I didn't hate it, but it wasn't like Krieger didn't prove his worth to me in that movie in the sense of like an audience.
I would agree.
But like, holy crap, Weapons may have been the best horror I've seen this year.
Have you seen what's it called? Dang
I still
it.
need to watch Sinners though. I've been wanting to watch that. I haven't gotten a chance to yet.
I'd say watch Weapons first. Sinners, make your own mind up on Sinners, but I wasn't sold. I wasn't impressed on it.
Really?
I haven't watched it because I have the same opinion. Just from what I've seen, I could care less. I think.
Well,
interesting.
So like when I was in my like mid-20s, I spent a lot of time still torrenting movies. But I spent a lot of time, like I dedicated like a whole month to like werewolf movies, a whole month to vampire movies, a whole month to Frankenstein movies, and just like really watched all that was like in reach. So when I saw Sinners, I went in with like a lot of understanding A of horror, but also B of just like vampire horror that's like being made. And I felt like all Sinners was the coolest things about 10 different vampire movies and John Carpenter's The Thing. And then they just took all those moments and just put it in that movie. So for me watching it, I was like, oh, this is an homage to this. Oh, this is just a different character doing this. And my stepson was just like, well, I was thinking it was really cool, but now it's just like from a whole bunch of other movies. And I was like, sorry, dude. It's like watching a movie with me. And I say it in that sense, not to give spoilers away, because I know you guys said you haven't seen it yet. But like the parallels are just like, if you've seen enough vampire movies, you're gonna like recognize what he's doing just from other movies.
Oh wow!
Which was kind of like the letdown for me, because I wanted something like a new spin on it, which is what everyone was like making it out to be. But
that's what I thought.
I guess in their defense of like modern reviews, I guess it is new in the sense that those movies are old, but they're still like taking the beats from those movies. And one of the thing that killed me the most was the John Carpenter's The Thing, which like
that's my favorite.
I'm sure they did it within like love for Carpenter and all that, but the thing that gets me as a movie fan is just like there's so many people out there watching this that don't even recognize what he's like paying homage to, and it's not really a spoiler. Or I guess I'll ask this: do you want me to spoil the John Carpenter's The Thing moment from Sinners, or leave it at that?
Just leave it, because I don't know if there's people in the audience.
Yeah, that's true. The chat,
yeah. But have you seen Talk to Me?
Yeah, I hated Talk to Me.
Really?
Yeah.
How funny. Have you?
Do you know the first like 30 minutes, 40 minutes of that movie? I was just like, I'm not sold. Like I'm not going to get into this. I don't really care for it. And then it was like the second half of it that I was like, oh, this picked up. I'm pretty interested. Like, I don't think it was like the greatest thing, but I did enjoy it. Like once I got like into the movie.
Have you seen Bring Her Back?
I was going to say Bring Her Back was definitely, again, it was kind of like a Zach Gregor's thing where like, I didn't hate Talk to Me, but I also like was very, very bored with it, but possession movies kind of just bored me in general.
Yeah.
Outside of like The Exorcist.
Right.
But yeah, Bring Her Back I thought was really, really good.
Okay.
That was another
Good.
one that's definitely like up there in my list for horror movies this year.
Good,
Worth
because
checking out.
I really wanted to see that too, and I just haven't had a chance to watch either Bring Her Back or whatever that other one was that we were talking about. Weapons. Yeah,
I haven't seen Bring Her Back yet. I gotta check that out.
because I do have a soft spot for like witches in horror, because I feel like it's not very common and it's not done well often. So if you can pull me in with like a good witch movie, I'm in.
I can see that. Connor Valentine says, "Yo, what up, Connor?" Saboteur says, "I wish Evil Dead would do more possession aspect. I love the shit talking demons. I love the new Evil Dead movies too. Like, I think those are sick." Retro Roman Doomsday Simulation channel says, "I'm an avid occult book collector. I have about 800 DVDs ready for my own streaming channel." Dude, that's sick. I love like stuff like that. Like that's my alley. Oh yeah. I love both of the new, or not new, but like recent Evil Dead movies. I think they're both freaking awesome, to be honest.
I love the originals too much to like.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wish the new ones were named Dead
Yeah,
Evil
they should.
or like something else. The
Yeah.
connection to Evil Dead is just like too close to the heart for me.
I could totally see that. I could totally understand that. It's weird how they just like were just like, oh, we're just gonna make this movie, but actually make it scary. But it was the first one. I feel like calls to the Evil Dead name more than the second one for sure.
Yeah,
But
I
I
mean,
enjoyed them both.
I'm pretty. I'm not 100%, but I'm like 95% against most like remakes or like reboots. And the 2016, I think it was 2016 Evil Dead was just like to me unnecessary because we had Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. So to have another like cabin movie for Evil Dead, I was like, all right, this is just a little silly. Plus, for me personally, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but like modern horror and modern movies in general, but I guess because of the amount of horror I watch, I pick up on it a little more. In the past like 10 to 15 years, they just like stopped making characters redeemable or worth liking. And I feel like it's like increased. Like there's just a group of shitty characters that you're supposed to root for or hope get out of this, but they're all really shitty people. I think that was one of the things with like Weapons that actually they did it well, where there was actually redemption in characters and like characters were actually worth rooting for, which is one of the things I didn't feel like in Barbarian.
Oh yeah, you see that.
But in modern horror in general, like one of the slashers, if you don't like slashers, but someone's trying to convince you to like slashers, I thought Hard Eyes was a really good slasher movie this year. It was kind of meta and self-aware and kind of made fun of itself throughout it. But one of the issues I had with it was like none of the characters were worth caring about. Like they were just like kind of shitty people doing shitty things, and then like insert person chasing them to kill them.
Yeah, but I think it's hard though, because I do think that like that's kind of the point of like 90% of horror, because they want you to like the monster or like the villain, right?
Yeah,
because that's what
yes.
the survivors. The survivors die, you know.
For sure, but I mean, like you take a slasher series like Scream, and they actually have personality and reason, and like they're not just there being like, hey, this person's a cheater, this person's a drug addict, this person fucked over the other two people. Okay, insert slasher. At least like Scream had like a reason. There was like some type of charismatic chemistry between the people involved for the film, and I felt like Weapons like did that really, really well. And even things, if you go back to like something more a little schlocky, like Slumber Party Massacre, where like at least there was like feminist undertones, and the point of the film was like kind of putting the rise of slasher films and the TNA within it kind of in perspective to its audience. Like, there's a lot of trash everywhere. Horror is no exception. But I feel like a lot of the mainstream horror, if it's not like super esoteric or like cryptic, like a good chunk of the A24 horror movies are, then it's kind of just like, hey, here's all these shitty people. They're just going to die in a matter of 90 minutes. Like, really cool deaths. Pointless movie. I don't know if you guys saw that one either. That came out recently.
No, I heard about it though. I don't know.
And I'm not like opposed to it as long as the deaths are cool. But then when you get a combo of like shitty character development and writing and then boring deaths on top of it, it hammers home a critique from me that's just like, why was this made?
Well, have you seen like any of the there's like a new wave of horror movies that are coming out that are just like public domain characters.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
New public domain characters. I've never watched any of them, but have you seen them?
For sure. Actually, just the other night, what was it? Not last night, the night before, I picked the movie because I kind of do the same thing that Brandon does where we don't really have like a bucket. We just like take turns picking movies to watch, my wife and I. And I was like, we're watching this. You're not allowed to watch a trailer for it because if you watch a trailer, you're going to say no. But it was Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare, which is part of the Poohverse, which if no one knows what I'm talking about, there was Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and then Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. And now there's also Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. And then also that just came out last month was Bambi the Reckoning. But the Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare was even better than I thought it was going to be because it takes such a mental illness aspect onto the Peter Pan story and then add the horror element to it. I really enjoyed it.
It's actually not bad, or is it just like bad in the best way?
No, it's not schlock at all. It's like a serious horror movie. It's low budget for sure, but I mean, like, it's low budget in the sense of like they worked with what they had, not in the sense of like let's not try as hard.
Right. How funny.
But yeah, so the next thing we want to watch is like Bambi the Reckoning. But the Pooh movies, they kind of did a somewhat of a spoiler if you understand what I'm saying. They kind of pulled a Human Centipede with Blood and Honey 1 and Blood and Honey 2. But so like if you watch the first movie, it is a little bit like schlocky. But all of that's explained in the second movie and makes the first movie even better, or better if you thought it was bad on first viewing. But yeah, I watch way too many horror movies, and I unfortunately have a colorful opinion about them all.
Oh yeah,
I love that.
Special interest, man. Special interest.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I'm kind of hyped. We put Blood and Honey in our cauldron this year too, so I'm curious about it for sure. Yeah, I was like, because I was going through like streaming channels and being like, what's on here, just so we can make quick decisions too, and that was on there on Tubi or something. So I was like, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I watched the Blood and Honey on a whim because I put it off when it came out, and I was like, I'll get around to it. But now I'm so happy that I did. And then when I found out that the other two movies are now like building within the same universe.
Yeah, that's wild.
Which like coyly is called the Poohverse, but it's seriously called from the production company standpoint, the Tormented Childhood Story Universe. But Poohverse sounds a little easier, rolls off the tongue a little better.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see like where they keep going with this. Apparently the one movie critic that I'm really into, specifically like on horror movies, said that Bambi the Reckoning made him cry. So I'm pretty pumped to watch Bambi the Reckoning.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I'm curious about that. I didn't even know about that one or the Neverland one. I mean, I'm curious because there's going to be public domain movies are hitting right now, and in a couple years, like Batman and Superman are going to be public domain. I can't wait to see like random stuff that pops out through there too. I think we're entering eras where stuff was created. We could start doing our own little spin-offs with. I would love to see some crazy horror Batman movie get made from some people.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the only problem with the free domain is like there's like an influx of garbage.
Yeah, I bet.
And unfortunately, as much as I loved it as a kid, there's yet to be a good one, and I've watched 4 of them.
Well, yeah.
Which are Popeye films, like Popeye horror
Oh,
movies.
God. Yeah.
I loved Popeye as a kid, and I really hope that one of these companies do justice to a horror version of Popeye, but it just hasn't hit yet. And I've tried.
The thing though is that I don't think it's gonna happen with Batman or whoever, because it might happen to some extent, but the copyright thing is really complex, and you also have a giant mega corporation that desperately is trying to defend its right to do whatever. So like, people say Mickey Mouse went into public domain, but that's technically not true. Just the Steamboat Willie version of Mickey Mouse went into
Which is
public
another
domain.
thing I've watched 4. Did I watch 4? 3 or 4 movies of.
Yeah.
And only Screamboat has been good. Tie back to Terrifier. The man who plays Art the Clown plays Screamboat Willie in Screamboat.
Yeah, and so I'm curious as to what that would look like with Batman and whoever.
I mean, Winnie the Pooh is a huge property for Disney, and that's getting movies left and right. So
Yeah, they just don't care about Winnie the Pooh as much, because that's like Aquaman, right, versus Batman. It's like, yeah, it's a big character, but at the same time, like, they could give 2 shits about Aquaman, whereas they really care about Batman.
But I know DC is already preparing, like, they're going to be letting authors kind of do their own thing the next couple years with Batman, and we'll be getting a lot more of those books before it hits public. So I think they're kind of just preparing to be like, all right, we got to shift gears and just do what we can now before it gets all crazy. And I'm like, cool. Glad you guys know that, because we're going to have fun.
yeah, the only thing I could hope is that DC convinces Jared Way to come back and do his Batman story, because that shit sounded crazy.
Right? Hell
yeah.
yeah. Dude, yeah. 100%.
Or
love
when
those
it goes
designs.
public domain, Jared Way just does his own thing with it.
I would love that. Dude needs to wrap up a few projects, actually.
Dude has a million projects and is putting out
Yeah.
a new game right now, so I don't know what dude is doing.
Yeah, for real.
Well, I mean, but he already had all that. He had a lot of script and concept art
Mhm.
done for it already, and then it just like was just kind of in limbo because of touring versus DC's release schedule, and they just never found out where like they could line up, and then it just got pushed to the wayside.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, so many of his projects. It sucks. He just put out that book, Paranoid Gardens. That was pretty good. You guys haven't checked that out.
I haven't checked it out, but I've looked into it a little bit.
It's really good. It's probably where him and Nate got so close, because he did lettering for that book too. In the chat we have a Retro Roman Doomsday Simulation channel said, and there's a conversation going on. Do you have a surprise breakout, low key, unpopular film that thrilled you or made your day? Standout original.
what was the question?
I don't know.
Just like a low budget, like unpopular film that just like really stood out to you.
Let me think about it.
I don't think I have any original takes. I think I've got
Saboteur said The Witch. This Witch rules. I love The Witch.
yeah.
And let's see. Here. He's saying, so naming 3 films I can't live down ever that spoke directly to my film language: Beyond the Black Rainbow, Eden Log, and Jim Van Beaver's Manson Family. Ooh, Rex for everybody, dude.
Yeah, I think the most original one that I have that's not like a derivative take is Incantation. I
Oh yeah.
hammer that one away. You need to see the Tim Vigil Batman get finished. Yeah, yeah, that would be wild.
Um,
It's a tough question.
yeah, I'm trying to think of something too.
I mean, I'd probably just go with like Houseu.
How Sue? Ooh.
Yeah, like House. It's a Japanese 70s movie. It's low budget. Um, everything's like done within like studio painted backgrounds and all that jazz. But it's like, uh, it's a low budget film and it's hit critical success like within like a cult audience
Yeah,
for it. I think that'd be one that like most people don't think about. And then I guess like like one that everyone talks about now is Terrifier. Once I saw that, I was like, usually don't see that level of violence in American movies.
Dude, yeah.
It's like something that I like usually seek after in like Japanese cinema because it's a lot more fluent over there with the Splatterhouse. So I was very pleased when I saw Terrifier for the first time.
It definitely impressed me. Like, it's not something I care for. It's not a bad movie to me. It's not my cup of tea at all.
Yeah, if you
But
don't like
they did a
slashers,
good
it's
job.
definitely you're the wrong audience for it.
Yeah, but like overall, like, dude, it was a great movie. Like, I loved it. Like, super sick. Like, it's not my taste, but can't deny it. It did its job.
Speaking of Tim Vigil, I watched for a third viewing over the course of a few years, obviously, but oh shit, now I can't think of it. What the hell is the Tim Vigil comic? Connor.
Faust.
Yeah, Faust.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen that movie?
No,
No, it's on our list though.
It's on like it's like from 2000.
Yeah.
It gives like Spawn 1997 vibes so hard that
yeah.
I kind of like it.
Hell yeah, that sounds great. It's right up my alley, 100%. Dude, that's a great movie. The Spawn 1997 one still holds up, except for the last 15 minutes where it turns into like PS2 graphics. It's pretty dope. The cape in that movie rules. Is the Tim Vigil Batman that trying to think of it. Is it the Crimson Bat thing? Like that Misfits one? Is that what I'm thinking of?
I think he's done a couple Batman things, but the Crimson Bat was like he was just doing a special issue on that, I believe.
Oh. Because like Neil Adams did something like that later on. And that's where I got the two mixed up for a while. Oh, Faust is on Tubi. Dude, I hope I pull it soon then. I'll pen on my own 5. Okay.
I am also on panel 5 technically.
Hell yeah. We're actually going to be wrapping up the show in a bit too. Connor was saying Vigil did a Batman bootleg as a warm up that looks better than just about any Batman comic in the last couple of decades. I'm gonna look all this up after the show right now. I think I know what I'm thinking of is it, but I gotta double check. But yeah, kind of wrap up the show a little bit. I didn't even realize 2 hours went by already. To be honest, this was a good time. It's also like we have a lot of work to do tonight. And drawing dogs is fun. Apparently, really enjoying this. But Not that we have a big round table tonight, but Davey, why don't you tell us, or actually show us what you worked on tonight, and then tell us anything you want to shout out a little bit, and give me one horror movie recommendation.
For sure. So, just working my way through my Pokemon. Almost done with this Staryu right here. And then I got Lapras done. And then
Ooh, great.
these little fishy guys with the nice lip injections.
Hell yeah.
Horror recommendation. I would say Weapons. Definitely just because it's new, it's modern,
Nice.
it's right out. I just watched it. Super fun, super happy with it. So, Weapons. Weapons is my horror recommendation. If not, then Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare as a close second. And yeah, I mean, thanks for having me on. Mind if I do a little shameless plug for my books?
Please do. All of them.
So at this time, I only have 5 copies left of my Inktober Tekken zine. These are the last 5 copies. I don't know if I'll be reprinting them. Maybe, but it won't be till like next year. But it's just the roster of Tekken 3. And it's pretty cool. You can also have me get a sketch in the front if you choose to. Usually do one right here. I also have my Volume 1 and Volume 2 of my Pokedex journey of Generation 1. Each book contains 50 Pokemon. Just looking a little more crazed than usual. These also, I can do a Pokemon sketch. If you have a preference of a Pokemon, you can request that on my store. And then lastly, the thing I'm most stoked about and what I'm currently working on is Ninetales, my horror cat comic. This is the introduction to it. It's a short little ash can, just giving you a feel of what's to come in the series. And this February, I'll be releasing the first full issue of Ninetales.
Nice.
As of right now, I have no current shows unless you're in Columbia until C2E2, which is in Chicago next year.
Whew. You're gonna be hacking away at it. Well, dude, I'm super glad you came on the show tonight. It was a long time coming. We've known each other for a little over a year now.
Yeah.
And we've been trying to get in a hang in ever since we hung out.
For sure. Yeah. If you do Heroes next year, we got to grab dinner for sure.
Yes, dude. We'll find some dope vegan food, hands down. I would love that. I think we are gonna try to go to Heroes no matter what, even if we just attend. So hands down, we'll hang out.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, and whenever we're near a show together, we're gonna jump on something, at least visit. But even if you go by New York Comic Con, I'll probably be there. I think, man, it's because like I'm supposed to see I could see AFI Thursday night and then drive out Friday morning. But DC kind of sucks right now, and I don't know if I want to be that exhausted driving to New York the next day, so I might just drive to
For
New
sure.
York on Thursday. But yeah, if you're around there, definitely say hi and we'll grab some food for sure. I'd love to grab food with you in New York.
Yeah, absolutely.
But hell yeah, man. And Max, what did you pumped out some cool stuff tonight too? You got some panel work done?
Yeah, I did a few panels. And I've got all of this left to go. Milo is saying hi. Well, I've got all sorts of stuff down here. But yeah, so I'm just gonna be pumping away on some pencils and figuring out how the heck I'm gonna ink this. But also I've got my shop up. So if you want to go to artofmf.com, you can get we've got Rap Brain zines. We've got the newest book, which is The Family Man. The newest zine, which is this Building Year One zine, and Bubbles, which is me and Milo's first comic book. So yeah, go over to artofmf.com to pick those up and just go to the shop and go from there. And yeah,
love it. And then I did this. I actually did the first. It's kind of hard because I did Blue Line tonight, but I did a few panels. Got a bunch of dogs barking there. It's kind of hard to see because my Blue Line. And then I did this like big panel full of a bunch of dogs that I had on my phone. and I did this close up, and then I did this picture of Spock, and then I'm moving on to panel 6, and then I'm gonna do the cover and back cover. So I'm pretty hyped. Probably put a resource back there or something. But yeah, the little mini comic for workshop I'm doing at my library next week. So just prepping that up. It was a good time to start that up tonight on the show, so I don't stress out during the week too much. And then on the news front, tune in Monday night, 6:30 EST. I'm going to be interviewing Alex Segura. If you don't know his work, he did a bunch of cool Archie comics. Archie Meets the Ramones, Archie Meets the Kiss. He just did that question series for DC, the Watchtower, where Renee Montoya is like, solving a mystery on the Watchtower. It's pretty cool. Good stuff. Also did some books like The Secret Identity, and has a new Daredevil like novel coming out next year too. So I'll be talking to him about industry stuff, craft, being a novelist and comic book writer. I think there's some cool stuff to talk about there. So I'm really hyped. And then Davey just threw in a promo code for his website on in the chat, so check that out. You'll see all of Davey's links at the bottom, and Darryl's as well. Darryl Murphy was here hanging out with us. His internet was weird, but all his links are at the bottom. Go show him some support, show him some love. Super hyped. Darryl's an amazing artist. And stay tuned. We'll be having some announcements, some more announcements on my the Kickstarter show I will be hosting on Friday evenings from 6:30 to 7:30 EST to help shout out some Kickstarter campaigns that are live. I'll be bringing people on to just talk about their campaign for a few minutes, do a little roundtable. It'll be a good time. That'll be launching in the next week or so. And yeah, if you're going to New York Comic Con or Baltimore, please let me know. We'll find me. We'll hang out. We'll do something. And other than that, check out Apollo City Comics at apollocitycomics.com. And we have oh, dude, check this out. We have a new book. Actually, this is the proof. I'm about to go unbox. I have 7 boxes of comics downstairs. But this is the Chrome, the Cosmic Chrome, Cosmic Death foil for the horror anthology Jade Louder and I worked on together. Super awesome book. Dude, a Family Man's in here. We got some Max Flowers work in here. We got some Teenage Babylon tie-ins in here. Check this out. I'm in the comic. Look at D Dreamy. I'm super hyped. Look at this. Look at this, and we'll sign off. Oh, there's a whole thing of zombies, a bunch of friends that we got there. Doug Knight, some cool people. But check it out. There's me, Jade, and Mark Bernal. Even got Mark's flip-flops and everything, man. So it's good stuff. There's Family Man. Beautiful stuff. God, so good, Max. But yeah, so lots of good stuff happening. Look at the beard. That's cool stuff. So make sure to subscribe to the CWS newsletter for lots of announcements. And then stay tuned for the show. We have so many cool things happening, and I'm so excited. I can't even express it. There's stuff that happened today I can't even talk about to you guys, but just know it's dope, and creators are going to be happy. So with that, I hope you guys have a good night. Thanks for hanging.